Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the Storm Podcast, and we got a Demon Slayer movie review coming for you.
Yep.
Me and Vermillion went and saw the movie last night with a couple of our homies, and we decided to review it for you guys. So, y'all, if you've seen it, then you can fuck with our review or not fuck with it. If you haven't seen it, you can decide whether you want to see it or not. But there are going to be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want no spoilers, then shit.
Click away.
You know, don't click away because it's going to fuck with our stats, but play the rest on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, play the
good.
rest on mute, and then you can, like, look at us, like, and then, you know, see what we look like. You get a little bit more screen time of us.
I look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where do we want to start for the movie?
From the beginning.
From the beginning. Okay, so I was excited. I was very excited for the movie. I think I said it on the podcast before we went. I was hyped to see it. I knew it was going to be canon. I knew it was going to be bussin'. Like, I was just hyped to go see it.
Right.
So we get there, and I want to start with the experience because it's always great to see anime shit on the big screen.
And it is. I've only seen one other big screen anime movie. That was the Dragon Ball Broly movie. It was turned up. I really enjoyed that one. This one was kind of weaker to me, the experience.
I agree. I went and saw the My Hero not Two Heroes, Heroes Rising. I saw the Heroes Rising movie on the big screen, and it was a lot more lit. A lot more more fans there. The fans at the Demon Slayer movie weren't as like...
They were dry.
And granted, we didn't see it in a theater where you would expect to see a bunch of fans.
Yeah.
We saw it in the hood. And you don't expect to see a billion Demon Slayer fans in the hood.
Yeah.
But that was the only place we could get tickets because it was sold out everywhere. So it was still fun.
It was also more emotional, so you can't really expect people to like,
Turn up.
when people are crying and stuff. Yeah.
Facts. Okay. I'ma just say it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush.
Sugarcoat it.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I wasn't a fan of this movie.
It's pretty fucking bad.
I don't want to say it was bad.
I want to say it was bad.
I'm not gonna say it was bad, but I wasn't a fan of it. If I had to rate it, I'd probably rate it 6.5.
I see you went up from yesterday.
What'd I say yesterday?
I think you said 6.
Okay, yeah, 6.5, that range. I'd rate it about a 6.5. Yeah. What would you rate it?
I give this like a 5.
5?
Solid 5.
Okay, yeah. I give it a 6.5, and this is why. Off rip, it was rather slow.
Incredibly slow.
Like,
man. The pacing was ruined, by the way. They picked everything up later, and the first portion of it was just dead.
Yeah, it was weird. The dream shit was rather slow, and I wasn't really invested in it. I was just kind of there for it, like, okay, whatever. It slowed the pacing down a lot. Then they woke up from the dream. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Okay.
How do you feel about Rengoku? How did you feel about Rengoku off rip?
So I was a few episodes behind, so I went into this with a little less knowledge than everybody else. He was interesting. I liked his power, his ability, his style.
Yeah.
His personality was kind of wacky, but that's whatever. He was still cool.
Though.
Yeah.
I liked it.
His personality definitely picked up later on, but for the beginning half, my first impressions of him, he was cool. Like, he seemed like he would be a nice mentor for Tanjiro.
Damn, your ass sound like fucking boarhead guy.
Oh yeah,
He be calling that nigga everything but Tanjiro. He calling his ass Tangerine and just crazy ass shit.
he was good in this movie. I liked him the most.
Why can't
probably.
I remember his name? For some reason, it's
Inosuke.
Inosuke. There we go. Yeah, I did like him more in this movie than normal, actually. Because normally he's a little over the top and annoying. He was still over the top, but in a good way.
Yeah,
And it was a little wise, even.
yeah. They definitely spaced him out to where you didn't get annoyed from him, and you got the proper comedic moments from him at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so off rip from the dream, I was like, all right, not really crazy about this. Started picking up pace when Tanjiro woke up from the dream. One of my biggest critiques of the movie is after they woke up from the dream, how much time would you say there was after that? Probably 45 minutes?
Yeah.
It felt like it was going to end from that moment on.
Yeah.
Like, normally a movie starts slow, picks up, climax, fall, resolution. Like,
yeah.
That's how a story goes. It was like, no picking up, slow, climax the whole rest of the movie, and then steep drop to the end.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, yeah, steep drop for sure. Because there's an argument that could be made that the ending was like very, very pent up and high tense, even to the credits.
I agree.
Which I don't think there was anything wrong with that, by the way. Ending fantastic, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay. So, let's get to the part that fucking pissed me off more than anything else. Boom. Wake up from the dream. Tanjiro gets up there, fighting that nigga, like everything's getting it popping. He cuts his neck off, and I'm like, yo, the movie's over already?
Yeah.
And then he says those fateful words. The words that ruined the entire movie for me. He said, I am a train.
That made no sense whatsoever.
That was the dumbest shit ever. Why on God's green earth did they make this nigga a train?
I don't understand that. That was laughably bad.
And I felt bad.
Really?
Because everyone in the theater was so invested and so like lit. And us four,
we were the only ones that
we
laughed
were
at it.
dying laughing. When he said, I've turned myself into the train, we were sitting there like the four of us, it was us and two more of our homies. We were sitting there just dying because the shit was fucking hilarious. Like, nigga, you're a train?
Yeah.
Like, dude, Thomas the Tank Engine? Like, what the fuck is this?
That was ridiculous.
That shit was fucking nuts, man.
It doesn't help that the antagonist, for those who don't know, he's like some type of, like you said, a dream guy.
Yeah.
He's a very weird, like, hand-mouth guy. That was never described in, like, his powers at the beginning.
You mean the train part?
Yeah, the train part.
That's what made it. When we were speaking on the way home from the movie, that's what kind of threw it off for me. I wouldn't have been mad at him being a train if his power had something to do with, like, fusing with objects or, you know, like, something like that. It didn't.
It did not.
He
whatsoever.
was able to put people into dreams and then turned into the train. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe this is a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
And they're just dreaming that he's a train. No. He was a train. He became a train.
Yeah. The I really liked though before that, prior to the train shit. There are only a few parts that I liked, and the main part that I liked was that he had those like dream addicts that were like following him around doing whatever he wanted just so he could put them in that happy dream. That was pretty like profound to me, because people who are willing to do anything to live in a fake reality instead of like be present.
That on was some Naruto shit? On some Infinite Tsukuyomi shit?
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, I could let that rock. One of the cool scenes that I did like is, first off, I hated the CGI.
Oh my god.
The CGI was terrible.
Oh my god.
If you listen to the pod, I don't know if this is you guys' first time hearing from me or if you've listened to our past podcasts before. I don't like 3D animation. Especially if you are mixing 3D animation into 2D animation. I don't like it. We're watching this movie on a big screen. We're expecting a Hollywood level production, and you're giving us 3D animation, which I don't like.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that at all. So wasn't crazy about that. But an epic scene was watching all of them fight against the train.
Yeah.
It sounds silly saying it, but watching them fight against the train was cool. I liked seeing that.
Yeah.
When Zenitsu pulled up to save Nezuko, that shit was raw.
He always has a strong like moment whenever he like actually is there.
Yeah, no, that shit was raw. Watching Rengoku go crazy against the train, that shit was lit. Inosuke was going crazy against the train, and I don't know why, but I thought it was really cool how all of Inosuke's moves were just so basic.
Really? You thought that was cool?
Yeah, because it's like I don't need all that fancy shit to get it popping. He was like, yo, first form, or not even form, first fang, slash. Like, I don't need no fucking flaming tiger. I'ma just do it with these two swords right here and get it done.
I could see the novelty behind that, yeah.
I like that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, so they defeated the train. Stupid, but yeah, they defeated the train, and this is where the movie got good to me.
Yeah, I think everybody's inclined to agree.
Yeah, once they defeated the train is when I felt like I really started to enjoy the movie.
They also tried to give the train guy like a sad send off for some reason. I didn't like that.
That's how Demon Slayer is.
But like he was evil to the bone.
That's
like,
how Demon Slayer is. It's literally he goes up against the demon, he defeats the demon, get a whole episode of the flashback of the demon's life,
but he didn't have.
and then on to the next one. It wasn't a flashback, but you're always supposed to feel sad for the demon. Like the bongo nigga, they went back and gave him a little bit. The spider nigga, they gave him a little sadness. They gave all the demons like humanized them at the end.
They had human moments. That guy was just mad about how he lost, and he cried about how he lost and how he didn't get to kill them, and then he died with some piano music. I didn't like that.
I mean, there wasn't enough time. They were trying to fit a whole arc in what, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
I guess.
That I'm not gonna nitpick about. That's me though.
They could have paced it better, but whatever.
I mean, if they would have got rid of the train shit, this movie could have been a lot better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So then we get Rengoku up against the third strongest demon.
Now was he in the anime at all, or did he just make his first appearance?
Nah, that's his first appearance. Yeah, so he pulled up. That nigga was dangerous.
He was crazy.
That shit was raw. I was fucking with that heavy.
Yeah.
That shit was decent.
Yeah.
The fight. Oh, what you laughing at?
No, his ability to heal made it just so broken.
Yeah, that was some different shit.
Yeah.
His ability to heal was some like next level shit that I was not ready for.
Me either.
That shit was crazy.
They went over the top with his healing ability.
And his punching the air so hard that it was smashing against like Rengoku.
Yeah.
That shit was different.
I'm also like curious as to what like compass technique he was using. That was pretty cool, but
yeah, his techniques were awesome.
Yeah, he only used like 2 of them. I'd like to see more.
I think it's probably in the manga. I feel like you'd probably have to read this arc in the manga to get a little bit more backstory. But we're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
He didn't die.
Yeah.
So we know we're gonna see him again at some point. So I'm excited to see that. And it was crazy to know that Rengoku is the strongest Hashira.
Wow.
And even he couldn't defeat the third strongest demon. So what? And that's not even the third strongest demon. The third strongest henchman of Kibotsuchi's peak. Damn, I fucked that up. Kibotsuchi?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So there's those 3 niggas, and then there's Michael Jackson.
That is so crazy.
And he has to go up against and he couldn't even defeat the third strongest. And first off, we don't even know if he could defeat 4th or 5th either. We don't know.
Yeah.
So how strong is Tanjiro and his gang going to have to get to be able to get to that fucking point?
I feel like they're gonna have to throw a time skip in the show. They have to,
probably,
in order for them to get there. Yeah,
because to get as strong as Rengoku is going to be
years,
next level shit. Yeah. Rengoku said it himself. He was like, "That's one of the first learning how to control your breathing to that level to where you can stop bleeding is one of the first steps. But if I'm keeping it a stack with you, there's probably 100,000 steps.
Yeah.
So you got to start walking,
man."
So that was different, and Rengoku was strong too.
Yeah, they did I like the animation on the fight.
That was some like
You didn't like it?
no. I was about to say that was some epic shit.
Yeah.
That made all of it worth it. Seeing it in the big screen, seeing the animation budget behind Rengoku and his. They couldn't have picked a better person to do it with.
Yeah.
With the fire and that shit was just epic. The damn fire tiger, the set your heart ablaze. That shit was hitting me. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He's going crazy, and he still didn't kill him. That kind of hurt. That kind of bothered me.
It did. He got away scot-free, basically.
Yeah, that bothered me. I kept thinking that they were going to get him because Rengoku slashed him down and missed. Then he turned his sword back up and came back up again and still didn't get it done. Then he came back around and slashed it. And every time I was like, finally, they're going to kill him. Then Inosuke and Tanjiro were coming and I was like, okay.
And the sun was coming up.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, okay, so he'll just hold him here till the sun destroys him. No, he broke his arms off. Then Tanjiro and Inosuke come and I'm like, okay, they're going to stop him. Nah, fuck that. Blasted them away. Then Tanjiro did the flame breathing again and threw that bitch. And I was like, finally, this nigga's gonna die.
Nothing.
Still didn't kill that nigga.
Nothing.
And then Tanjiro got to taunting him. And I thought that like the demon was gonna be so proud that he was gonna pull back up and then get smoked. And he was like, nah, fuck that nigga. I'm out of here, bro. So that was hurtful actually.
Yeah. I think the sword that's embedded in his neck, he's probably going to make like a trophy out of it or something like that. Or use it to fight later down the line.
Some shit. I don't know. But that's some crazy shit. Like, it hurts that he didn't, that didn't kill him.
Yeah. It reminds us sometimes you just lose flat out. Like, you can't have a win all the time.
Yeah. Like, that shit was hurtful. But overall, I thought it was an okay movie. It wasn't what I wanted. If I'm being honest, I probably would have preferred to see this arc in the anime.
Oh, for sure.
I would have liked to seen it with better pacing across the span of 20 episodes maybe, instead of
sounds about right.
Them giving it to us in one movie.
And they could have swapped out the train guy for any other villain.
Didn't need the train.
Yeah.
Like, they really didn't need the train at all. Like, I don't understand what they were doing with the train. The train kind of fucked the whole movie up for me, if I'm being honest with you. Because who cares?
Yeah.
When he became the train, I completely checked out.
Me too. And then it took a while for everybody to get back into it. But
yeah, I don't know about anybody else who was in that theater except for like us and our homies. But we all checked out. Once that nigga said, I have become the train, we were all there like, all right, man, like, let's wrap this up and go home. Because I'm not here to watch them fight a train.
Yeah. And it's funny that when the train exits the movie, that is when the movie like actually is good.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's all I got. So, you got anything left you want to say?
No. Demon Slayer is a good show.
Good show as long as you don't become a train.
Don't become the train.
If there's anything that I want anyone to take away from this review, it's don't be a train. Don't.
It's that simple.
Don't be a train. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I want y'all to get from this. Don't be a train. Thank you. All right. Peace out, y'all. We out.